said your music would be a welcome companion. I didn't mean...
Don't you know any other goddamn tune? Huh?
No, sir.
Of course you do, lad. Play 'em that haunting air you played me this morning.
I'm what's known as an elite game master. That means I don't just create adventures.
He becomes them.
I've reached the deepest dungeon. I'm now Lord of the Little People.
I'm an artist. My campaigns are multi-layered tapestries upon which I texture themes and subject matter which, quite frankly, would simply be too strong for your hobbyist gamer.
Stumble into the abyss of fire. You are no more. I have a spell to save me. There is no protection. You will burn forever and ever in eternal torment. You are no more. No.
Go raise an army and bring them to me immediately.
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
I understand that every time I have to kill one, it hurts.
But if we don't kill nature, how will we build our houses?
Witches scrying, ladders flying, ice dying. Hark the herald! Hark the herald!
All right, cool. Well, there's a surprise for everyone who decided to show up early. Sneak preview of the new D&D intro. I don't know how many people were here for that. I know Lewis is here. I see Copy. I see All Strands came in to say what's happening. Haven't seen him in a while. Nola was going to try to join me. I'm repping his shirt right now. Don't know if he's going to be able to because he had some conflicting stuff today. But he might join me midway. We'll see what happens. But we are about to open up some EGS box or slabs. But first, we do have another surprise here. I have a box. I know what's in this. This is a box from fucking Rad on Instagram. Shout out to Caroline for finding one of my grails that I've been looking for since the day I got back into comics. That's what's in this. So we're going to open up these EGS slabs. I'm going to give an honest review of what I think of them. And if they're up to what I want in the way of slabs, I will be sending more books off. And this book that is in here is almost certain to go in that batch. So while we're kicking it and letting people, it's just a puncture. It's fine. The box is in perfect shape. Looks like it just got punched somehow. So I know what's in this one, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up without telling you guys. So it looks like we got at least a couple people watching. Let's see who shows up before I get too much into the EGS stuff. Let's see here. I'm actually surprised this came in a box. I thought it would be just an envelope. Looks like he threw another freebie in there, though. I think. Or maybe that's just 2 pieces of cardboard. It might just be 2 pieces of cardboard. Yeah, I think that's what it is. See here, man, this blue painter's tape is stronger than normal. Normally I like blue painter's tape because it's easy to open up. So I already got the comic out. Caroline, hey, how's it going? I was just mentioning you because the sneak preview here is the book you helped me get, the ash can version of Trick or Treat. If you guys don't know, this is a movie that is definitely a cult classic. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I've been looking for this book since almost a year ago when I got back into comics. This was actually a free handout that they gave, I believe, at San Diego Comic-Con. It was at a convention, I believe it was, in 2009. They gave these out as a way to promote the movie. So this one is near mint, is about as good a condition as you could possibly get, which is amazing if you consider the fact that they handed these out for free. So yeah, so there's the little bonus that we have today that came first. And he double cardboarded that, actually. So we'll set that right there. Keep that guy safe, because that is a big one for me. Yeah, it's like, I think it's interesting that it's a little ash can, but there's a trade paperback of this, which is like a much bigger comic. So I'm assuming this is just a very small snippet of the story. If you guys haven't seen that movie, it's definitely worth watching. It's an anthology movie. So here we have the EGS box. There are 3 slabs in here. So to preface this, I don't own any slabs. I'm kind of adverse to it. I like them, but for my own personal ownership, I'm not into flipping books. I know a lot of people are. That's fine. I would only get things slabbed that's going to go in personal collection. I'm not interested in slabbing anything just to turn around and sell it. That's just not how I'm going to do. And I know the most popular is CGC, and there's also CBCS. I've heard good things and bad things about both. There's PGX, which a lot of people don't like. And then the new cats on the scene is EGS. They've been going about 1.5 years, 2 years, I think. And I got turned on to them by Nola, who I'm repping. Nola suggested for personal collection books because the presentation that I should get EGS or try EGS out. So what I did was I took 3 of my top books. These are some of these are books people know. I'm sure everyone knows at least 2 of them. But they're my personal favorite books. And I figured I'd go ahead and run the risk, see how they go. And if they come back, hey, I've got a really cool experiment for guys out there, girls too, who are interested in getting your books graded and don't want to go through CGC, because they're obviously people have a lot of problems with how they've been doing things. So if you haven't seen EGS, that stands for Expert Grading Service. They are based out of Florida, and they pride themselves on being very transparent. I know they have a YouTube channel they kicked off recently. Maybe they'll check out this video. If they do, I'm going to let you guys know. This is going to be a very honest review. Don't expect 100% praise, and don't expect 100% trashing it, okay? Like, that's not what I'm going to do either direction here. I'm going to unless that ends up being what it is. But I already have one little nitpick that I'm going to go ahead and discuss now while it's not open. My only little nitpick is that, and it's not even fully EGS's fault, is they need to have a better way of conveying the turnaround time, because when you go to the website, right there on the website, it says 21-day turnaround. When you get something like cleaning and pressing, which I did for, I think, at least 2 of these, maybe all 3, I can't remember. Because some of these are all pretty old books. So yeah, I think I did do cleaning and pressing on all 3. That adds to your turnaround time, which is fine. Like, I don't have an issue with that, but I don't believe my conversing with the owner mentioned that until maybe the second or third conversation. And it was, I think he said 35-day turnaround, which is fine. I mean, I could go back and I could look at this if we're going to be super nitpicky. I'm not being super nitpicky about it. I'm just mentioning it for people going into this. If you go to the website, you see 21-day turnaround, it does not necessarily mean 21-day turnaround. We shall see in the future if it's 21-day turnaround for things that aren't cleaned and pressed, because I'm more than likely, if I'm happy with what I got here, I'm going to send off some more stuff, and a lot of those books don't require cleaning and pressing. So the issue arises when 35 days go by and I hear nothing, and we get up to about 45 days. So I send a message, which, by the way, I did get prompt responses on every time I've talked with EGS. So they are killing it with their customer service. I'm going to give them a little bit of a break because I know that a month or two ago, all the grading services that weren't CGC started getting overwhelmed because of how much CGC was getting overwhelmed. So I think EGS kind of fell behind in what they were able to quote people. So I'll cross out what I'm complaining about now with benefit of the doubt on that, but it's all going to come down to how these actual slabs are of whether I'm going to recommend it. The final message I got said 35, or not final, the second to last message I got said 35 days for each service. So that makes it sound like 35 days to clean, 35 days to press, and then 35 days to grade and slab. That, which didn't happen. It wasn't anywhere near that. I think we're sitting at, when did I send these off? Middle of March. So a little over 65 days. J2's joined us. What's happening? Appreciate you coming in. So you have that on them but like I said, in their defense, they probably got overwhelmed with something they weren't ready for. So EGS, if you're watching this, I am giving you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm still going to push people toward you if I end up liking what's in here. But with that said, we'll start cutting it open. Definitely well packaged. That's what I want to see. Price-wise, I think their price is pretty good. Like I said, I'm not a big slab guy. I don't have any slabs. But from what I know and what other people have experienced, I think price-wise was really good. I did get a discount from another YouTuber. I won't mention that because I'm not going to try to spread the discount code around when it's not my video that I got that from. But I did get that because I did some research after Nola mentioned, because Nola is also thinking about sending off to EGS. There are maybe half a dozen of you, some of you here right now, who have said they're interested in EGS if I end up liking what I got, and if they like what I got. So there you go, EGS. I'm putting your name out there, and I haven't even opened your stuff yet. Okay. It is a solid brick here. Oh, God, packing peanuts. Wasn't expecting that. So let me go ahead and get them back in the box. Tony, please remember we are dealing with business. Yeah, that's fine. I totally get. I'm glad you're here. I totally get. And that's I don't know when you came into the video, but I gave you guys total benefit of the doubt at the beginning. I'm glad you're here. That's great. The only thing that I say is maybe when you send out that initial email, which was awesome. I love how fast you guys were. That initial email maybe entail each individual service time, because the email I got didn't have that originally. You told me in a later conversation. Not a huge deal. Standard turn. Okay, here he goes. He says standard turnaround now is 21 days plus 21 business for pressing. Yeah, see, that's even different than what your email says to me. Your email says 35 for each individual service, which I got cleaning and pressing. So even if you're not meaning it to be a little bit inconsistent, it comes off a little bit inconsistent, and maybe it'd be better to have it. Maybe you do have it somewhere on the website, but at the time, it wasn't for me. But what it comes down to is it's really going to come down to the presentation here. And as I said at the beginning of the video, which Tony, you may not have seen, I'm not a big slab guy. I don't have any slabs. These were 3 of my personal collection books that I wanted. These are forever keeps. They're going on the wall. And I don't ever plan on selling them. This isn't a flip game. This is preservation is what they're for. So I took a risk by sending 3 of my top books to you guys, and I got them back. So, hey, I have them here no matter what. When it comes to grading, I care more about honest grading, which you guys apparently pride yourselves on. I would rather have an honest 8.5 or 7 than a dishonest 9.8. And I have definitely seen some CGS stuff that should not have been labeled 9.8. And I say that as someone very novice to comic preservation. So this is packaged exceptionally well. I will say all that. Customer service wise, packaging wise, I mean, when I sent payment, very quickly within payment, I got the green light that it was a go. I don't have any problem with anything that has occurred so far. Excuse me here. I gotta get some water. Guys, it's humid up here. We're in Indiana, and it's been really humid lately. So I don't have any kind of qualm about anything that has occurred. It just seemed like the quoted times were a little bit wonky. But yeah, you say it's on the website under services and prices, and it probably is, but it seemed like maybe at the time I maybe I misread it. I don't know. I just know that I have multiple emails that have different quotes. I'm not going to pull those open and air all that out, but that is something that the different emails say different things. So. But we are going to crack this open right here. Oh, I'm liking how these feel already, even though they're in plastic. I am definitely liking the size of these. Oh, each one of these books has a story to it. So I'm going to break down each one of those because these are sentimental. I got back into comics last summer after having not read any comics in about 15 years. But here we go. Let's do this one first. Certificate of authenticity is inside the back. Everyone knows this book. Adjectiveless X-Men #1. First appearance of the Acolytes, yeah, 1991. And it is a 9.0. It's wrapped in plastic, obviously, and there's a certificate of authenticity back there. I'm not going to crack that open right now, maybe later in this video. That is a really thin slab. I've held slabs before. I think it's about as thin as it can go right there. Very sturdy. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. It looks great. So yeah, so what's sentimental about this book is this is my era of X-Men. I read this book a few years after it came out when I was old enough to actually read comics. I had this not this exact copy. I bought this copy last year whenever I was visiting my friend who you all know as Sith Lordly. I was visiting him in California. He took me to a shop and he found a copy of this for me. It was in pretty good condition. Obviously 9.0, 30-year-old book. So there we go. So this has sentimental value for two reasons. One, it's representative of my early days of comic reading. And it's also one of the top books, one of the first big-ish books that I got when I got back into comics. This is also what I believe the most sold comic of all time. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong about that. I know there's like 4 covers for it, but well, there's 4 different artworks, but then there's variants and stuff of the color scheme. But yep, 4th. I believe it's the most sold book of all time. So there we go. 9.0 white pages, EGS certified series. Yeah, it's looking good. Yep, Tony, thank you very much. I do really appreciate this. Right off the bat, that is killing it. I'm going to save the big one for last. Now, this one actually scored much higher than I thought it was going to. And I will say, right off the bat, it is crooked in the slab. I don't know what all could have been done about that. Because like I said, I don't know much about slabs. Cat's walking around, so if you hear some crinkling outside, he's messing with the packaging. The book itself is crooked inside of the slab. It's sticking way off to the right. So I don't know what's going on with that. But it is 9.2 white pages, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire #1. And you guys can see you can just looking at it, you can see how crooked that is. Look at that. That's pretty far off there. I don't know how that even happened. If it shakes and it'll go down in there or what. If that's something that happened in packaging or if it just moved. So that one's off. But great cover, great series nonetheless. It is representative of one of my favorite eras of the Star Wars Expanded Universe. This is a relic of a bygone era because, as we all know, the expanded universe has been killed off. In many ways, it's been brought back, so that's really awesome that they've brought stuff back. But this is, first appearance of Prince Shizor and Dash Rendar, both on the cover and within the book, I believe. At least Dash Rendar's on the cover. I don't think he's actually I think he's in volume 2 or issue number 2, I believe. So certificate of authenticity back there as well. Yeah, other than the fact that it is crazy wonky crooked inside of this thing, I mean, a lot. Like, it's really crooked. It's not gonna. It says you can tab it on the opposite side. It should straighten. Tab it. What do you mean by that? Like, so, like, tab it like that. I'm not gonna mess around with it too much right now, but I appreciate that tidbit. Sometimes they do ship. Yeah, I understand. I definitely understand if that happens. Hopefully, it'll move around a little bit. I do really like just the feel of your slabs. I think that's great. They're super thin. Being able to transport these around would be great. But yeah, so this is I read these when I was younger. I think I was maybe 8 or 9 when Shadows of the Empire launched. And if you guys don't know, Shadows of the Empire was a huge multimedia project that Star Wars did. It was video games, it was comics, it was a novel, action figures, micro machines. I was into all that. All right. And I still love Shadows of the Empire very much. So this book here is a shout to Nola, who, when we were discussing on Spine Ticks, shout out to Spine Ticks. Watch them on Saturday nights if you don't watch them already. We were on Spine Ticks together, and it got brought up about first appearance of Dash Rendar. And I said, I really want to get that book, and I would get that. I would get that graded and slabbed. And thanks to Nola, he found one online for me, pretty cheap, and obviously it was in pretty good condition. I mean, we're talking 25-year-old book here, 9.2. That's pretty good. So shout out to him on that. I'm gonna stick that back there. We'll rip the paper off of them here in a minute. Or plastic. We'll rip the plastic off of them here in a minute. Okay. Number 1 book here, which is also slightly crooked, but not like that other one. The number 1 book for me, because I am not a completionist in any way, except for a few particular series. And one of those is The Mask, not M-A-S-K Mask, The Mask, as in like the Jim Carrey movie, which is based on a Dark Horse comic series. This is the first appearance of the Mask, referred to as Big Head or the Big Green Head Killer, because he did appear in some Dark Horse Presents books before as the Mask, M-A-S-Q-U-E. But this is Mayhem number 1, 7.5. So, if I'm being honest, I think that was a little lower than what I was expecting, but not by a lot, because it is a 30-year-old book. And this one is also a shout out to Nola, because Nola had this book for decades in his, repertoire of comics for decades. And the first night we all met, where we met each other on Spine Ticks, Nola heard that I was a fan of The Mask and that I was going for completion on The Mask, but I didn't have any of the Mayhem books. And he said he knew he had one that he was going to look for me. And the next day we were talking through Instagram, and he dug this out, and he gave me a very, very fair price for it as a raw book. So I was super happy to get this book because, this is just an amazing, amazing series. That cover is crazy. I mean, look at that. So you get some reflection there. So yeah, 7.5, like I said, lower than what I thought, but still 30-year-old book, says white pages. EGS did custom labeling for all of these. I didn't get into that in the beginning. If you look right there, they put the green and the Who's Laughing Now on there, which I think is super cool. I really like how they did the custom label on there. I think that's awesome. Custom label. I'll set this up to the side, and then I'll pull these up. Custom label on this one is the burnt orange sunset look like you see on Tatooine here. And there's a Darth Vader stamp. And on this one, I believe I've seen this on some other X-Men books of theirs, which is totally cool. There is the X logo there, and then a color scheme that matches the background. We'll go ahead and we will crack open the plastic on these. Certificate of authenticity, which I will keep off the side. I'm gonna protect those separately. So let's put that off to the side. Let's see here. So Tony, if you're still around, I appreciate you coming. For everyone who's just now tuning in or hasn't, Tony, who is I guess you were the owner of EGS. We've exchanged emails a few times whenever I sent books in. He's here to check out what I got to say. Well, Tony, if you're still here, I really like what I got here. Not much to complain about. There is something I'm going to bring up that I have heard, and that doesn't bother me too much, but I am going to say it because it probably needs to be said. First of all, let's just look at these slabs on their own. Look at these books, man. Presentation-wise, great. Sparks, you made it. So Sparks, I'm going to go ahead and mention it because I know you're also interested in doing some EGS at some point, possibly. I'm going to go ahead and mention that this one is way off kilter inside the slab, but Tony says that you can get it to knock back loose. That happens in shipping sometimes. Maybe that's happened with some CGC books and stuff too. I'm sure it has. It's not too big of a deal. I would really like it to get back if I could knock it back like he says. I don't want to bang on it too much, but maybe we can get it. But other than that little bit of slant, there's not like a lot of complaining here. These slabs are super thin and super light. The custom labels are exactly like they're advertised to be, which I think that's great. And then let's see here. Trying to figure out how these seams work. So you got these seams on here, and then they're taped down. I'm guessing that's like your tamper-proof seal. Obviously, if I were to, you can see here at the corner, I can move that. So obviously I could take it apart and move it, but I wouldn't want to mess with the tamper-proof seal now, would I? Because that would null the grade, and I don't want to do that. Looks like there's some cracking here, though. On the back of the mask book, the Mayhem #1, it's really hard to see. There's a crack all the way across there. So I don't know if it just happened in shipping or what. It's not moving, like it's not flexing at all, and it's not on the outside, it's on the inside, but there is just a crack completely across there. Let's see. I don't think any of the other ones have anything like that. No. Let's see. That's another one that's slightly off. It should shift back. Tap it on the table. It'll be okay. Okay. So, yep. Beautiful. I mean, it does present very well. The thing that I was going to mention that a lot of people have had issue with, and I know Nola, I wish Nola was here because he has more of an issue with it than I do. And he's a little bit hesitant to do EGS, is the hinges on top. A lot of people like a really smooth, all the way around feel to their slabs. Now, me personally, it does not bother me that much because these are going on the wall. They're not going to be handled constantly. This will probably be some of the most handling they'll ever get is today. But a lot of people have issue with that. Almost everyone I've talked to about EGS is that They like just a smooth top. That's almost everyone I've ever. It doesn't bother me that much. I get it. I understand the complaint, but for me, it's going on the wall. Does it look like a scratch or crack? It is a crack. It definitely is a crack. It's not a scratch. It's just interior, and it's not affecting the slab at all. I mean, I don't have a good enough picture, and all that glares on there, but yeah, you can kind of see it right above where it says EGS Comics. That's not a scratch. It is an actual crack, because you can see the break point where it breaks off into another crack. It's like a little crack goes down like this, and then another one comes up that way. But it's inside the slab. It's not outside. I'm also seeing a hair over here. Actually, there's more cracking than that. The entire interior right here is cracked on the inside. It's just you can't feel it on the outside. There's a lot of cracking, like almost like someone pushed down on this and it just broke it on the inside. Let's see here. Yep. If you like, we'll recase it for you. I don't know if that's necessary. Let me hold on to these for a while and really get to look at them and examine them and show them around to different people. I mean, that's why we're doing this, right? Like, we want you to have a good business. We want there to be good alternatives to people like CGC and all that. So, yeah, let me spend some time with this, but I do appreciate the offer to recase it. There's quite a bit of movement, actually, to be honest with you, because this mask book, I feel like it's moved just since I've taken it out. I don't feel like there was, it feels like it has moved a little bit since I've shown it off. So I don't know how that's happening. If it's just tabbing it, like you said put on the table, and I don't want to bang on it. I really don't. I really like the presentation. Like I said, it's super slim, lightweight. I like your custom labeling. There's just a lot off. Like, even with the label on this one, yeah, that label, it's so hard. I wish I didn't have all this glare. I'm sorry about that. That label is cut all crazy. Like, it looks like construction paper cut out. I didn't notice that until I started noticing that the book had moved. But it's not a straight cut across. Like, that's something that could be fixed, or not fixed, but just done right if you had a paper cutter, like you used to cut office paper. If you had something like that, just a straight down cut should be able to cut these. You can see it better on the back. See how it's like uneven? It's kind of all over the place there, isn't it? So yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that. I like the way the label looks, but I don't like that unevenness. That doesn't come off right. And the corner of that is sticking way up. So I can tell that it's not just uneven on the bottom. It's all over the place on that. So, yeah. So other than uneven stuff, there's nothing about it I don't like. The fact that these things are kind of cased uneven. The best one out of all these is the X-Men book. The label is mostly straight. It's a little bit off too, but not like that mask book is. The book itself is kind of set in the slab pretty well. And yeah, it's all around it looks really good. It's not like the other one. Let's look at Star Wars again. I haven't looked at that one much. The label in this one is fine. That one is not, well, that's not true. That label's off at the top. So yeah, so quality control. I like the slabs themselves, but I really feel like, oh, we got someone joining us. Hey,
What's up, brother?
You made it.
Sorta.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you caught any of this?
No, I've been driving. We're staying in an Airbnb right now, so.
Good deal. So Tony from EGS is here in the chat, and we've been discussing
Nice.
the goods and the bads. So Tony, this is Chance, Nola Comics, who I have the t-shirt of.
What's up, Tony?
He is the one who got me into you because I wanted to slab personal books, and
That's an awkward sounding sentence, by the way.
I wasn't really feeling the whole CGC thing because of, I mean, this isn't a video to track. Oh, did you lose me?
Yeah, I don't know if it's you or me or.
No, it was me. My whole thing just like cut out.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm here now. So, we both agreed that your book, your slabs present well. So I wanted to get into that because the presentation, rather than just some uniform thing like CGC does, the custom labeling we really like.
Well,
how slim the slabs are. So I'm going to go through each one of these with Nola and let him pick the bone too. So
since Tony's here, if I may, my questions are: I have yet to get anything slabbed by you. Not hesitate to get anything slabbed by you guys. You guys have by far the best looking case, minus maybe the hinges at the top.
That's what I mean.
And so, but anything from my personal collection that I wasn't planning on flipping, I would definitely, just on first impressions, get slabbed by you guys. It's just the best looking presentation out there as far as I'm concerned, and this as well as anybody. You're fighting the uphill battle of having to compete with the reputation of CGC and to a lesser extent CBCS. So anyways, just that's where I stand on it.
That's great. He actually offered to recase these. I told him I'd like to keep these for a little while to let people look at them, and to show them off myself and everything. But I may take him up on that because there are a lot of things here that I feel like could easily be fixed, and this could be a learning experience because we obviously want competition to have a chance, right?
Amen.
And like I said, I'm not going in absolutely tearing this up. There's a lot of stuff I like about it. I don't know too many people that are out here doing these EGS unboxings. Do you know anyone else that's doing this right now?
Journos is the only one I've seen, and it hasn't been in months.
Journos did a great breakdown, I thought. Yeah. And I'm pretty much right there with him, but with a few more nitpicks because he didn't talk about any of these moving around. So we're going to start with the book that I got from you, Mayhem #1. He gives me a 7.5 white pages, which is a little lower than what you and I thought. But like I said at the beginning, we would rather have an honest 7 than a dishonest 9.8.
I think that's a fair.
Are you there? Am I losing?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm here.
I think it cut out for a second. But first thing is, can you tell how uneven that is?
Yep.
And I really wish I could do something about that glare. There's nothing I can. I'm in the best lit place I could possibly be without going outside. This label, man, so hard to show. It is cut like kindergarten construction paper, like across like.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like it's got a little. Edge.
Yeah, it's cut like those like office paper cutters.
Yep.
If that would be better than whatever cut this.
Right.
Because that's just cut jagged across there.
Right.
That's not cool. I don't like that. Other than that, I really do like how it presents. It does. I mean, look at that. If you just look at it, it looks good. Like,
dude, it's if you just had it sitting on a shelf, it's gorgeous.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So there's that, and then there's a crack on the interior here that's, again, you guys can't see it. There's nothing I can do to show it better.
Yeah.
Like it's cracked all the way across the top, and then it's also cracked right here where the book line is. You can't feel it outside, but on the inside, it's not scratched. It is cracked. So there's that. But again, I mean, it presents well. But he was saying that they do move around in shipping, and I can understand that. But he says if you bang on it a little bit, which I really don't want to bang on this thing, But it is, yeah, it's moving while I'm standing here talking to you.
Yeah.
Look how far that moved over.
Yep.
I want my books in a slab to never move.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you don't want them shifting around. That kind of counteracts the whole point of putting them in a slab.
Yep, that moved a lot. Like he was telling me to bang on it to move it. Well, it moved it in the opposite direction.
Yeah,
it made it worse. So that's a problem.
Definitely what you don't want. Hey J2, what you doing, man?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely going to take him up on recasing these because this thing's falling apart like while I'm moving it around.
So just hold it up from like a little bit of a distance. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I guess until you see some of the flaws that you can see, dude, it looks great. That label is that kind of green and black fade on that label.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The label looks great. I love their custom labeling. Like if they can nail down the movement that's going on in the slab itself, that's honestly my biggest bitch at this point right now is that, like you said, it defeats the purpose of slabbing. A one touch would not move around.
Right.
So there's no reason why this book that has survived for 30 years in your personal collection comes to me, then goes to get slabbed, and then, tap on the opposite. Yeah, man, I feel you, Tony, but it's moving all over the place, and we don't want him to move at all. And
you know what? I don't know Jay Green.
That's my boss.
Oh, okay. So I will say, at first glance, it's not a great deal that Danny's talking about right now, but Tony's sitting here in the chat and listening.
Yeah,
and that goes a long way.
It does.
I don't want to try and damage his reputation or the company's reputation in any way, because, like I said, being here and available, that's way more than you'd ever get from CGC.
That's absolutely true, and it does go a long way for me too, especially someone who doesn't slab books.
Right.
And Tony, I've got about 20 books sitting over there that I would like graded and slabbed, and I am just waiting to send them to someone like you. And they would go out tomorrow if it wasn't for all this movement. I mean, how much money would that be? You know what I mean? Like, how much money would that be if I sent you 20 books tomorrow? But that's the only thing holding me back. And I'm damn sure not going to send them to CGC. I'd rather just keep them raw. So, So, thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. I'm going to stand by what I've been saying. The presentation is good. Nola, I know you have an issue with the hinges. That doesn't matter that much to me because I'm putting them on a wall. Like, I think it still looks good.
Yeah, and I was going to say that it actually, it doesn't look as bad as it does up close.
Mm-mm.
So when you see it from a distance, it's like where it's at right now. You can't even tell.
Yeah.
So, but it sounds like there might be some other issues with the case as well. So.
Yeah. J2's also talking about it. Big shout out to Tony. Speaks volumes having you here, my man. Nola said it's best and true. CGC won't do that. Yes, exactly. Like, Tony, I'm serious because you're here and you offered to redo this. This won't be the last video on EGS. You fix this problem, I'll show these books up again. I mean, I love your presentation. It's hands down. And look how thin that is. I mean, it's really thin and lightweight. And honestly, the material that it's made out of seems like it's really sturdy. It really does. I'm really surprised that one was cracked. So we'll go to Shadows of the Empire here. 9.2, I think that is 100% what this book is, actually. No qualms about that.
Another book you got sort of from me.
I mentioned that early on. So, this is another one that has moved around. Like, I think that's just the issue. Something is not securing inside of the cases themselves.
Yeah, that's not the best. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm not seeing any problems with this one at all, other than that movement, which appears to be a problem with all of them except for the X-Men book, or both of them except for the X-Men book. Again, custom labeling. This label is the most straight one. Like, this one doesn't look like a construction paper cutout. I don't know how well you can see that.
No, it looks good.
That looks good.
Yeah.
It's those two that look like construction paper cutouts.
Well, And again, if you're going to make a label that looks that good, you really want to make sure that it's,
Yeah.
because that's one of the highlights of the EGS case to me is the presentation of it.
Yep.
And you really want to make sure that label shines.
Yep. But as far as the actual, the grade and the label and all that, and again, the case is awesome.
Tony, do you have any idea when that's going to be?
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love to be the first one to do that, and I'd love to do a review of them. So hopefully that is something they're going to do soon. While he's answering that, the best one in this whole bunch is definitely the Adjectiveless X-Men #1. It's 9.0, which, I mean, it's a 30-year-old freaking book, and it presents incredibly well. And I don't think that one's moved at all. It doesn't look like it's moved at all. The label is perfect. Doesn't look like construction paper cut out. It's not moving in there. That looks good. Nola, did we lose you? We probably lost Nola. Hopefully by fall or winter. Yeah, we lost Nola. It'd be great to have him back. Hopefully he does come back. Because, he's the one that steered me toward EGS, as I mentioned earlier. This is great. If we could have a lot more of this and less of what's going on there, then, I would send all my books to you. But there we go. So, Tony, you said that you guys can recase these. Should I hold on to them till you get the new cases? Or, I don't know. I think these are good cases. They're just, something's going on with the movement. J2, are you still here? J2, do you want to come on and say some things? Tony, if you don't know J2, he's been on Instagram for a while. He's been in the comics game for a little while, and I'm not sure what all he has in the way of slabs, but he'll tell it to you straight also. I figure I'd be a good person to do this because I have no bias to or for, like for or against CGC or CBCS. That's why I thought, hey, new guy to getting slabs, want to try a new company. I have nothing to lose or gain by doing this other than it might turn people onto a new company. But J2, if you would like, I will get you on here to say things. Say what you think. Let me see here. Where is J2? J2, where are you? Why do I not have you in my chat? There we go. Okay. J2, I just sent you the link. You're welcome to hop in here too. Nola is trying to connect, but it's saying his devices are not. He says currently at work. Well, there you go. That's how serious J2 takes this because he decided to come on and check it out while he was at work. And he cares about comics a lot. Nola's trying to reconnect. I'm going to give him some time. So while that's going, Tony, if you're still here, I'd like to show you some of the other stuff I want to send you. At the beginning of this video, I got this Ashcan Trick or Treat. This is one they handed out at the conventions to promote the movie when it came out. And this thing is in really, really good condition. I just got this today and opened it up before doing the slab unboxing. So this is something that I would really like to get slabbed by you guys. I'm going to grab my box of other things that I want to get slabbed. And I'll show off what I am definitely considering sending. But I will not send until I know. See, I'm going to put a pic of the Mayhem book on IG, and you will see how straight it was before. Okay. Yeah, so that's definitely a quality control learning experience for you, is that you have no way of really knowing that without somebody like me coming on here and saying, hey, they're moving around, you know. So hopefully that helps you guys out. So this is my stack of books that are for sure going to be graded. But I'm not just going to jump and say, hey, they're going to go to the other guys since I don't like how these slabs are turning out. I'm gonna give you guys a chance because I really do like your presentation. I'm sure you guys can come up with some cool stuff for this. So this is Space Bastards #1 blacklight cover. I really, really would like to get this slabbed, and I think you guys could come up with a cool custom label for that. This is also a shout out to Caroline. Caroline sent me this one directly. She helped me find the Trick or Treat one, but she actually gave me this one, so that's cool. Punchline #1. I think a cool purple label would be interesting. See, that's what turns me off to CGC is I get people wanting uniformity, but I don't want uniformity. I want something on my wall that's unique. So that is one that I definitely want to send off. Detective Comics 833 with Zatanna. This one would look super cool with like a smoky gray label, I think. This one isn't a special book. I just really, really like the show and in this particular issue. Rocco's Modern Life, #4, I believe. Yeah, or is that #4? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they did weird labeling back then, Marvel. That one would just be fun. Big fan. Me and my wife both love Rocco's Modern Life. Nola says he's trying to come back. And I'm a big wrestling fan, so these two together would be great. Stone Cold Steve Austin, #1, and the Undertaker preview book. How cool would those be to get slabbed with custom labeling? Stick those on the wall. Because I don't put any comics on the wall, slab or not. I haven't done that, but with these type of things, with like the custom labels from EGS, I really would like that. Noctera #1, Glow in the Dark edition. So I definitely will get that. That's a series I'm currently reading. And that one's definitely going up. And my favorite book of all time, really hard for me to get a hold of one of these in good condition, is Batman Mask of the Phantasm Red Variant. Super hard to find in good condition. I've gone through a few of these. And a lot of times you end up with the ash can version, which I have an ash can of that too. But you can tell the difference between the ash can and this when you buy it online. Some people try to trick you and they don't say that it's the ash can one, which was super common. It came with the VHS tape of this movie. This has a price. See how that has the price on there? The ash can doesn't have a price. So if you're looking for this book and you see a picture of it, look to see if it has that price. That's how you'll know if it's the ash can or not. So that one is my ultimate grail right there. So those and then the Trick or Treat ash can. I'd like to get that also. So again, Tony, yeah, nice books. Thank you. Yeah, Sparks got me some mask books too. So Tony, yeah, right there is a box of books that I had fully prepared to send off to you guys, depending on how these came back. Now, what you're saying about fixing them and reslabbing them, that's great. I hope it is learning. I really do, but I'm not going to send these off until I know that they're going to be good. But I'm also not going to send them to the competition either, because the competition isn't in my chat right now telling me what they can do to fix it. You know, or they're not sitting here saying, hey, if you send those to us, you won't have them moving around or construction paper cutouts. They're not doing that. So these are not going anywhere until I see how these come back. So look at that though. That looks really good. I mean, if it wasn't for the movement and the shoddy cutting, that's tight. So yeah, I'm not even gonna post an Instagram pic of these because I'm not gonna try to draw any negative attention at all. But I hope people do come across this video and see basically what they'd be getting and what the company is willing to do to try to improve their product. So I'm not going to do anything brash, but I will be sending these back to you to see if there's something you can do to make the labels and the shapeliness, I guess, of it better without the movement. So yeah, so Nola could not reconnect, so I'm probably going to cut this, which is right at the 1 hour mark, or just under 1 hour. And if anybody wants to talk about this with me, they're more than welcome to message me about it, and I'll tell him the same thing I've said on here, that I think it's great that Tony tuned in. That's awesome, actually. I can't say that I've seen that for very many companies at all, of anything outside of comics. So, yeah, I'm going to cut this loose, and I will give you guys an update when we straighten all those out. So thank you guys for tuning in. You definitely got to check out our D&D session later, 6:30. Have a good one, guys.